Hi, my name is Teresa Kovalak, and I have been working on some of these little cactuses. So I thought I'd show you how I did these. First, I'm going to walk you through my inks, and that way you'll know what colors I'm using. The first one here is the Limeade. The green here is the Mojito. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. Next is Laguna. Then we have Glacier, and we have our Valencia, which is our orange here in the center. We have our yellow, which is the Dandelion yellow over here. And for our pink, we're going to be using the Fiesta. These are all made by Ranger Inks, and you can pick those up online because we're all in a lockdown. So if you haven't picked these up, these are some great colors. I love the pink, love the Glacier. I gotta say, I love them all. So let's go ahead and get started here. On these, we are going to be painting on some Yupo paper, and this is coming in a 5x7. I am using the heavy stock, and the reason I like the heavier stock is you can use this as a card. You can write on the back of it and send it to someone, or you can take and frame it. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside, and we'll go ahead and get started. So if we want to do the one that is more like this with the background, we'll go ahead and do one of these and maybe one of the others, and that way you can just see how I did this. So I'm working with a fan brush. I like having the fan brush. It works great. I use it all the time. In my little bowl, I have the 99% alcohol, and we'll just get to it here. So I'm just grabbing onto quite a bit of that blue, just making my sky. And if you want to just go with the sunny sky, you can do that too. And I think I'll grab onto a little bit of that orange. Clean off my brush. And we'll go ahead and pick up some of that yellow. It's a good color, I like that. Just like we have a sunset or sunrise. Maybe just bring it down a tiny bit. And then go ahead and pick up a little bit of that blue. And because I painted this one more with the purples here, on this one here, I didn't lay out purple, so we'll just go ahead and pick up a little bit of that pink. And pick up a little bit of that blue. Put our horizon line in. And if you don't want to do yours with the desert behind it, you don't have to do that. You could just do the cactus, but that would be kind of fun to do the whole thing. Just grabbing onto some colors. It doesn't have to be exact. Just like we have some bushes and shrubs out there. This is a fun little painting to do. And it also gives me a chance to show you some different techniques. Just pull over my sky just a little bit because I have a line there. I'm just rubbing that in a tiny bit. Gonna grab onto a little of that Glacier. I like that a little bit better. So it's up to you. If you want to soften your edges some, you just come back in with a little alcohol on your brush and you can soften those hard edges. So for my cactus, on this one here, compared to the other ones, I mostly went with the greens. So I'm just going to grab me a green. We'll start right here. You can see I'm not cleaning my brush. I know about how much alcohol and ink I still have on my brush. So I feel okay of going into the other colors. So it's almost like building a snowman. We kind of stacked him on top of each other. You can even make him a little fatter if you want. And then, so he doesn't look like a snowman, we're going to take and build another one right here. Just kind of make his circles. And my ink is a little bit thin because I had put quite a bit of alcohol in there just to get started so it wouldn't dry out. So no big deal, we're just going to work with it. And put on some little branches. I'm not sure what the little arms are called on a cactus. I guess I should have looked that up. Being that I live in Michigan, I don't have any of the cactus here. Well, I take that back. We do have a cactus that grows in Michigan. It's kind of weird, but we do. Alright, I kind of like that there. I'm just going to make him a little more round. I like that. So now while that's drying down to put our little marks on there, which would be our little pickers or thorns, we're going to go ahead and add in those flowers. Now to add in the flowers, I make sure I have a nice clean brush. I'm going to take and I'm going to dip my paintbrush into the alcohol, grab onto the ink that I'm using. What I'm going to be using today is an airbrush, and you can pick these up online. If you don't have one of these, you can use a straw. That will work. And if you have one of these, this works great too. This is an alcohol ink blower, and this is made by Ranger, and you do give it a nice squeeze and it gives a good puff of air. So if you have one of these, this is a good project to do. And if you don't have these two, find a straw. That will work. So we are going to go ahead and put those in. And we're going to grab onto a good amount of alcohol. We're just going to dip into our colors that we want. And what I do is I just touch and I give a little blow. And it's up to you. If you want to do just one simple one, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to do big poofy ones, you can do that. But what I kind of like to do is change up the colors. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Go ahead and clean down our brush here. And so I'll start off with one color and then I'll come in and I'll grab another. Now I need to make sure I got plenty of alcohol so that when I go to blow it, it will actually move. I'm going to just touch down. And dip back in. There we go. And I am holding my tool down low and on an angle because I want to blow it away from the cactus. But what I suggest is take a practice piece, just one of your pieces of Yupo, and practice on that for a few minutes. But I actually like having it several different colors, and I like them nice and big or going all over. So clean down my brush because I had yellow in it. I'm coming back to that pink. There we go. So on my other cactus here, you can see he's quite darker, and it's just the colors that I was using. Last night I was playing around with all different colors. So if you do want to darken it up, just grab a darker green. But it doesn't have to be, you know, dark green. It can be whatever color you want. It's your cactus. The other thing is you can come back in and just add some color to him. And I think I'll grab onto some of that blue too, because I really like that. And I have it so this cactus is kind of sitting in front of this one. I'll just touch up his arm a little bit. I'm going to grab some of that blue. There we go. Just clean up my edges a tiny bit. And I'm going to blow this down real quick so we can, well, we can just blow it with this guy. We'll just keep it further away. That way we have it dried down some. Now, for my little thorns that I did, I just used, it's the gel pen. The brand that I really like is Jelly Roll. And I just take and I just pull the little pickers. I don't think they're called pickers. I think they're called thorns. And I just take and pull them out wherever. And when I'm doing them in the center, make sure I go different directions. They don't have to be perfect, just put some out there. This is lots of fun to make and fairly easy. I think any of you can do this. And you don't have to do your cactuses green. You can do them whatever color you want. So there we go. I actually like these flowers better than these ones. So What I could do if I wanted to is if I wanted to brighten up the flowers a little bit more, I could come in with a little bit more pink. But I want to show you how to do that other one that we did, or that I did last night. So I did this one and this one, and I just really like these because they're different colors, where on this one I went more with a traditional green. So let's go ahead and do one of these. We'll just set these aside, and again we have our piece of Yupo. And what I did with this one and this one is I put a tiny bit of a background on it. And so I just took my fan brush, and this is a fan brush that's a little bit bigger. And I can't quite see the number on it because it has so much paint on it. So this is the one that I normally use, and you can see this one's quite a bit bigger. The reason I use that is so I can get across the paper faster. So I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of ink and a tiny bit of alcohol, and I'm not going to press my brush down. I'm just going to lightly pull it over. Just streaking it. I'm going to do the same thing with grabbing just a tiny bit of that blue. Again, I'm just going to lightly dip into a little bit more there because I don't have very much blue. What it is I'm grabbing onto the edge because I don't want a lot of blue. I just want a little bit. So you can see that's mostly white right there. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to pull that through. And touch down because I did touch quite a bit. And now I'm just going to take and clean my brush down, put a little alcohol on my brush, and just pull that alcohol. And I think I'm going to work on it this way. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Sometimes I like to flip them around. Yeah, I think I like it this way. So on this one here, we'll do it a little different. Go ahead and grab onto some of that blue. Then we'll grab onto some of that green. And my ink is starting to dry up a little, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of that 99% alcohol. Rub my edges because the ink likes to climb up. We'll go ahead and put ourselves a cactus right here. And we'll go ahead and grab some of this green. Maybe a little arm right here. And let's go ahead and grab onto this green. And maybe we'll grab a little bit of this too. And let's give him another arm here. Maybe another cactus here. We're going to go ahead and grab a tiny bit of that pink for this one. Maybe actually put a little pink in that one too. Grab onto a little bit of that blue. And just kind of mix and match your colors. You know, they don't all have to be the same, and they can have different colors on them. I find it fun experimenting with it. Maybe we'll do one more cactus. How about right here? I think I'm going to make him bigger. And I feel like we have to do one right here too. So it's up to you. You can just do one or two. And you can see I don't always wash my brush in between. I kind of know how much ink I have on my brush. We'll go with like maybe a little guy there. It's up to you. So on this part, you can see I have a splatter on it. So instead of doing the little thorns or the little pickers, I just splattered some alcohol, and on some I actually did a little bit of ink with it. So we're going to move those over a little. We're going to take our brush and grab onto a little bit of yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my brush. I don't want too much on it, so maybe use a practice piece, and I'm just going to hit my brush. I'm going to flick that alcohol on. And I also want to do maybe some color. Do a little bit of orange. And I want this just to flick on there. Again, just grab on a tiny bit and let it go down your brush. Just to make it a little speckly. Now I do that part before I put the flowers on. You don't have to. You can put your flowers on and then do it, but then you have to remember you're going to get speckles on your flowers. So on these ones I did add a little more alcohol, and you can see, or maybe you can't, but there's a tiny bit of speckles right there. So now we'll go ahead and put our flowers on. So I think I'm still going to go with that pink because I like it. And I'm just going to touch on. And give that guy a flower. And it's up to you. You can just do tiny flowers, or you can do bigger flowers. I'm going to give myself a little more alcohol in my bowl there. Just because I use quite a bit cleaning off my brush when I'm going into the other colors. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that orange because I really like it. And you don't have to do them all the same. You can do them different. They're different little cactuses. So we can do them different colors. We could even do a blue flower if we want. Blue and pink make purple, so it's a good color combo. I think I'm going to go ahead and put another layer of pink over top of it. Rub my edge and get some of that pink rolling. And if you're not happy with your flower, add another one. Add another layer on top of it. Sometimes it'll get funny on what way it wants to run. Just have some fun with it. Clean down my brush real good. And add a little bit of alcohol to my inks and to my bowl. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to grab a little bit more of that yellow. Grab a little bit of that pink. I'm going to grab a little bit of that yellow. Well, what do you think? It's a little bit fun, a little funky, but that's a good thing too, right? So these are our paintings we made today. And I hope you were able to learn a different technique or a different way of looking at the inks. And if so, give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that you'd like to see more of my work, and I'd be happy to do that for you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great holiday coming up. And, you know, just be looking at that sunshine and enjoying your weekend. So thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Teresa Kovlak. You can find me on Instagram, and happy painting.